across the street. I will be in a couple weeks. I'm taking an online speech class, and so I have to do a speech in front of people in a formal environment. That's what I'm doing here, just so you have a little background. My speech is about singing. I love to do choir. I love Mrs. Harrell. She's awesome. So I've been with her, I think her first year was my kindergarten year, so I've had her every single year. Other than that, just a little bit of background on me. Without further ado, let's get started. As a child, do you remember getting read a bedtime story right before bed, obviously? I remember it being very joyous, but I wasn't super happy about a story because I was never read a story before bed. I was sang a song. My dad would always sing me a song right before bed, and I just remember how happy I was, and it just made me feel very safe and comfortable and ready to sleep. I have actually been searching for that feeling for a very long time, that feeling of comfort and safeness. And I think I found it in singing itself. To really understand and enjoy singing, you first need to learn how to actually sing. You need to learn the fundamentals and the mechanics of singing. Motivation is definitely key when you are learning how to sing and when you are trying to perform a piece, because you need to know all of the different reasons why you want to sing. So any of the reasons, you can start coming up with them in your brain. And finally, what you want to do is you're going to ask yourself, why do I love to sing? And as you'll find out, I love to sing because it makes me feel very powerful and very confident in myself. Honestly, it sounds pretty overwhelming when you are looking at it from a non-singer standpoint, but just like anything else, as long as you take it one step at a time, you're going to be fine. And although it does take a lot of practice and a lot of hard work, singing does have many positive rewards, and I think it's important that others know that. To start with, let's look at the fundamentals of singing. First, you're going to look at your posture. So with posture, you're going to need to know where your feet are. They should be about shoulder width apart, one maybe slightly in front of the other, knees soft, and your spine needs to be straight. So you act like you have a string coming out through the crown of your head, you pull it straight, and then make sure your spine is straight, your head and your neck are all in line. Finally, you need to learn where you have your shoulders. So you just roll your shoulders and make sure it's kind of relaxing, kind of gets you ready to sing. And you need to act like your shoulders are a clock. So you've got 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. You're going to put your shoulders back at 3 o'clock and then relax them a little bit so they're down around 4 and 5 o'clock. As that way you can open up your chest and your torso, and it's very open and a lot easier to sing that way. Next, you're going to need to worry about breathing. Now, breathing is, you think, well, I know how to breathe. I've been breathing my entire life. But a lot of people start to breathe through their chests. So when their chests move like this, you know that they're not breathing correctly. They need to be breathing through their diaphragms, through their stomachs. Your diaphragm is a muscle that cuts your torso in half, and it's right between your chest cavity and your abdominal cavity. And when you breathe through your stomach, you notice that your stomach comes out like this. It comes out and goes back in. That's because your diaphragm is pushing down. It's pushing all of your insides outwards so it can make room in your chest cavity for your lungs to expand. Then, of course, once it contracts, it pushes all of the air outside of your lungs, and now you know how to breathe. Vowels are very important. They're actually the letters that you are holding your notes out on. So A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y are all vowels that we all know. But you need to learn how to make sure that they are very pure and very tuned. One thing that you can do is make sure that your mouth is very open inside. Now, it seems kind of weird at first, but once you get used to it, you start to learn how to do it and start doing it subconsciously. You're going to drop your jaw and act like there's a huge marshmallow in your mouth. That's the best way to go. And of course, depending on which vowel you use, your lips and your tongue will be in different positions. Next thing is listening. You're going to need to learn how to listen to others around you. Whether you're singing in a group or not, you either listen to the people around you or you listen to the instruments around you. They'll help you stay in tune so you are a lot better off. You're not going to be slightly under or slightly over pitch. Next, which I have a hard time with, is face and body, which is you're just going to make your expressions and your body move to how the music is. So you're not going to want to smile on a sad piece, and you're not going to want to frown or look very somber on a happy piece. You need to make sure that your body is moving. You can move it very slightly, or you can move it a lot, kind of depending. If you're in a gospel kind of thing, you're going to be moving around a lot. If you're not, you're going to kind of just move slightly, lean in a little bit. Make sure your knees are soft so you don't pass out or anything, and you just kind of move around. Now that you have an idea of how to sing, let's look at some reasons why it's good to sing. Juliet Russell stated in her article, 10 Great Reasons to Sing, published by Mind, Body, Green on January 7, 2013, that singing is actually healthy. It helps with your cardiovascular system, which is your heart, and your respiratory system, which is your lungs, because you're using those all the time when you sing. She stated next that it helps boost your confidence. When you put yourself in a vulnerable situation, you are, going back to that vulnerable situation, back and forth, you start building your self-confidence up, and you feel a lot more comfortable in your skin. It also helps you to relax. Just like lullabies help babies relax, singing will help you relax, as long as you know you're not in a super tense situation. And remember how I said listening was a very good thing to learn when you're singing with people and singing with instruments? Well, because you do that, you're starting to tune your ear. So you actually become a better listener in other situations as well. If you have never sung before in front of a big group of people, or even just a few people in a formal environment, then you might not know how it feels at the end of the day, but I can say that it's honestly unlike any other feeling in the world. At first, it's very nerve-wracking, you're very nervous, your heart starts pounding, your blood starts pumping, but after that, you start to calm down. Some of the first thoughts that ran through my mind when I first started singing in front of people was, where do I look? There's a big sea of faces. I mean, where do I look? Do I stare at the ground? Do I look up? I don't really know where to look. Or where do I put my hands? Or just you feel very odd. But once you kind of get used to it, it helps out a lot, and you just get more comfortable, and it's an amazing feeling. Stage fright is obviously common when you put yourself out in front of people and in vulnerable situations. But once you start shaking that stage fright off, you start breaking out of your shell, and a metamorphosis starts to occur. People judge. Honestly, people are going to judge you, but you can't let that stop you. You're going to need to just think about why you're doing it. Don't worry about any other people. Don't worry about what they think. Just worry about how you feel and what you want to do. As Heath Ledger once said, the reason that you dance and sing is to make the audience feel like they're dancing and singing. As long as you're having fun with it and giving it your 100%, they're going to feel that. It's an amazing quote. Shake off those bad feelings and remember all the blood, sweat, and tears that you put into your performance, all the practice and the hard work that you put into it. Then you can truly start to enjoy singing. You start to feel the power of the words that are coming out of your mouth, that are flowing through you. And at the end, when you get your applause, you just feel elated. You're just so happy. You can just feel their happiness radiating. Learning how to sing and perform is hard work. There are many steps and procedures, but also many reasons to consider the benefits. At the end, you may think, well, was it all worth it? I mean, all of that dedication, the hours that I took, all of that, was it worth it? And if you can look back on the experience and remember that soaring feeling like nobody can bring you down, then you know it was definitely worth it. Thank you.